Hola chicos. Here is the oral final project instructions. I want to go over the instructions with you so that you guys can make an excellent final project. So here we go. Objetivos. To have a conversation with a Spanish speaker to communicate and exchange information about each other on familiar topics. So it is your job to find someone that speaks Spanish, native Spanish, and speak to this person and have a fun conversation. Um, and it is important for you guys to come up with the questions. I do have information that can help you form these questions as well. So, aquí están las instrucciones. Here are some instructions. You will meet with the conversation partner in person, over Zoom, or by phone to talk about topics from class, including their name, where they live, and other information. The conversation containing video and audio will be recorded and submitted as part of this assignment. And if you cannot provide a video or audio, please receive approval from your instructor. But I do prefer a video so I can watch the conversation. Now, this assignment consists of 3 sections, which can be completed in 3 stages. First, preparation for the conversation. So what I mean by that is you have to have your questions ready so you know how to go about this conversation and interviewing this person. Carrying out the conversation with a Spanish speaker. Yeah, it must be someone that speaks Spanish so you guys can keep the conversation flowing in Spanish. Completing a reflection based on the content of the conversation. And so at the very end, there's a reflection that you have to make, and this section will be in English. Follow the instructions carefully. Type your responses in a Word document or Google document or in the text box below. If you're using a Google document, you can use this. There's a link that you can go to and click on that, and you can use that link as well. Before conversation, you need to find a Spanish speaker again. I know it's very repetitive, but I really want to emphasize someone who grew up speaking Spanish. Ask him, her, them to meet with you for this assignment. Prepare your list of questions for this conversation. Here are some that you can use, but feel free to add or change some however you want to. So it's importantly to make this a conversation as much as possible. Use the questions to guide you, but feel free to ask follow-up questions. And in addition to asking these questions, also share similar information about yourself and your conversation partner. So here are some of the questions that you might want to use because it obviously uses information from your grammar learning in the class. Additional tips regarding the questions. Add or substitute with other questions if you would like to, or as you can see, fit during the conversation. The questions must be related to topics that we cover in class. Remember to follow up each question with questions such as ¿y tú? To make this a natural conversation. React to information with phrases such as ¡ay, qué interesante! Or you can say muy bien. During the conversation, start off with a hello and a goodbye to start and end the conversation. As the questions, as you are asking the questions and gather the same information for your partner, make sure you make it like a conversation as much possible. So remember to use questions such as ¿y tú? And expressions such as qué interesante, muy bien, me gusta mucho, etc. Or other reactions. The conversation must be around 4 to 5 minutes long. Make sure you record the conversation, making sure that both you and your conversation partner appear in the screen. Have a conversation in a way that is natural conversation so that it flows. And if you make a mistake, for example, self-correct and keep going. Like I do it. We're not perfect, so don't start to edit, restart it and edit the conversation. During the exchange, find out if you and your conversation partner have anything in common. Identify differences too. For example, if you can say something like a mí también, like I also, that would help you out. Important, ask your conversation partner to not to translate anything for you. to only speak in Spanish to you and to repeat something if you need to hear it. You can say something like, repite por favor. This conversation must be fully conducted and completed in Spanish. Do not read from a scripted conversation. This conversation must be as natural as possible. So after the conversation is over, you have the reflection portion of it. So answer the following questions individually in English. Summarize what you've learned from the conversation partner and discuss similarities and differences. Number two, you can talk about what you've learned about your Spanish from this activity. This can be a phrase, a word, or a thought about how you felt during the conversation. And number three, discuss what you need to work on regarding your Spanish skills going forward. Here are the submission guidelines. Submit the document in Canvas. A complete submission includes the following items: the list of questions you prepared before the conversation took place, the recording showing you and your conversation partner, and the answers to the reflection section. So it's 3 sections, and you can all submit them all together through Canvas. Here's your evaluation criteria. Students receive up to 5% credit for a complete submission. The 3 components must be present in the submission in order to be considered complete. Each component is worth about 1/3 of the grade, or 33 to 34 points each, for a total of 100 points. This includes the questions, the video recordings, and the reflection section. So refer to the rubric for more details. So here's a rubric. So you have all this information that you can go over and make sure you stick to what you need to do on this project. Then ask your conversation partner to not translate. So this is very important. Not to translate anything for you, to only speak in Spanish to you, and to repeat something if you need to hear it again. You can say something like, repite por favor. I just said that. And so this conversation must be fully conducted and completed in Spanish. Do not read from the scripted conversation, and this conversation must be as natural as possible. I also have a sample video, so please click the link to watch the sample interview. This example will help you guide you as you prepare and conduct your own interview for the final project. So click the sample video. Watch the whole thing. This is a very good guidance for you. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me and let me know if you need help or you are struggling in a certain area completing the 3 tasks. So good luck, buena suerte, y nos vemos pronto. Adiós.